Personal responsibility is one of the central ideas Obama emphasizes, and it forms the foundation of real, lasting success. He stresses that every individual, regardless of their past or present circumstances, holds the power to influence their own future. Life will not always give equal opportunities, but it always gives a choice: how you respond, how you act, and how you move forward. Obama reminds us that waiting for someone else to fix our problems or relying on luck is a trap that keeps people stuck. True progress begins the moment you decide to stop blaming, stop making excuses, and start taking ownership of your path. He explains that responsibility is not about perfection, it is about accountability. When things go right, you build on it. When things go wrong, you learn from it. This mindset builds resilience and strengthens character. Success is never a straight, flawless journey. It comes from countless small decisions: waking up early even when tired, choosing discipline over comfort, and pushing yourself when no one is watching. Obama highlights that the world rewards those who take initiative, who show up consistently, and who refuse to let setbacks define them. Taking responsibility also means surrounding yourself with people who lift you higher rather than drag you down. It means being honest with yourself, recognizing your weaknesses, and actively working on them rather than pretending they don't exist. Growth happens when you decide to step out of the role of a passive observer and become the active driver of your life. Obama encourages people to believe in their ability to shape their story, because belief fuels action. Even when conditions are difficult, even when resources are limited, responsibility gives you power. It shifts your focus from what you cannot control to what you can control. And that is where transformation begins. When individuals embrace responsibility, they unlock opportunities that others overlook. They become more disciplined, more confident, and more capable. Obama's message is clear: your life is your responsibility, your success is your responsibility, and your future is shaped not by luck or background, but by the choices you make every day. Taking responsibility is the first step toward becoming the person you were meant to be. Education, as Obama often highlights, is the most powerful tool anyone can use to change their life, and it is far more than classrooms, tests, or degrees. It is the process of expanding your mind, discovering your potential, and preparing yourself to compete in a world that demands skills, creativity, and discipline. Obama emphasizes that education is the great equalizer because it does not care where you were born, how wealthy your family is, or what challenges you face. Knowledge gives you a chance to rise above limitations. It gives you the confidence to dream bigger and the ability to pursue those dreams with clarity and purpose. He encourages young people to take their education seriously, not for the sake of pleasing others, but because learning opens doors that would otherwise remain locked. Every book you read, every concept you understand, every skill you develop becomes a tool you can use to shape your future. Education gives you the power to think critically, make better decisions, communicate clearly, and solve real problems. These qualities are what employers look for, what leaders depend on, and what innovators use to change the world. Obama reminds us that while talent matters, effort matters more. A curious mind that is willing to work hard will always outperform someone who relies only on natural ability. He also stresses that education does not end when school ends. Lifelong learning, through reading, exploring new fields, asking questions, and challenging your own assumptions, is what separates successful individuals from those who stay stagnant. The world is constantly changing, and those who learn continuously are the ones who stay ahead. Another powerful message is the importance of surrounding yourself with people who inspire growth. When you are around those who value learning, you naturally elevate your standards. Obama urges people to choose friends, mentors, and environments that push them to improve. Education also teaches discipline and patience, qualities essential for achieving long-term success. It requires focus, sacrifice, and consistency, habits that carry into every area of life. Ultimately, Obama's message is that education is an investment in yourself. It builds your confidence, strengthens your abilities, and gives you the tools to shape not just your own life, but the world around you. When you commit to learning, you commit to becoming the best version of yourself. Hope, in Obama's message, is not a weak emotion, but a driving force that pushes individuals and societies toward progress. He explains that history has been shaped by people who chose to believe in the possibility of something better, even when the world around them seemed filled with fear, uncertainty, or division. Hope is not about ignoring reality. It is about refusing to let current circumstances limit what the future can become. Obama emphasizes that optimism is a strength, a mindset that fuels courage and creativity. When you believe improvement is possible, you take actions that create that improvement. This belief becomes a form of energy, one that keeps you moving when challenges rise, one that keeps you fighting when the odds feel overwhelming. He speaks about how negativity, doubt, and cynicism drain people of their potential. When individuals convince themselves that change is impossible, they stop trying, and that is where failure begins. But hope, even in small amounts, reignites the desire to keep pushing forward. Obama encourages people not to be ashamed of hope, but to embrace it as a tool of resilience. He reminds the audience that every meaningful achievement, civil rights progress, scientific breakthroughs, social reforms, personal success stories, began with someone daring to imagine something better. Hope inspires action, and action transforms dreams into reality. Obama also explains that optimism must be paired with effort. Simply believing is not enough. It must lead to consistent, determined work. Hope provides the vision, and effort provides the path. This combination empowers people to rise after failure, to try again with more wisdom, and to build momentum even in difficult times. He encourages individuals to stay away from voices that only spread negativity, because such perspectives kill ambition. Surrounding yourself with hopeful, ambitious people strengthens your mindset and lifts your spirits. Optimism is contagious, just as pessimism is. Obama's message reminds us that hope is a responsibility. You carry it for yourself and for those who look up to you. When you choose to stay hopeful, you inspire others to do the same. Communities grow stronger when people believe in a shared future worth fighting for. Ultimately, Obama shows that hope is not a fantasy, it is a strategy. It is the fuel that keeps people moving, the light that guides them through darkness, and the force that makes seemingly impossible things possible. Unity and empathy form the backbone of Obama's message about building stronger communities, nations, and relationships. He emphasizes that despite differences in race, religion, culture, background, or political views, people share far more in common than what separates them. Progress becomes possible when individuals are willing to set aside judgment, listen to each other, and work together toward common goals. Obama often highlights that empathy, the ability to understand someone else's feelings and experiences, is not a soft or optional trait. It is a powerful force that strengthens society by creating trust, compassion, and cooperation. When people take the time to understand one another, conflict decreases and solutions become easier to find. Obama urges people to recognize the humanity in everyone, even those they disagree with. Instead of seeing others as opponents, he encourages seeing them as partners in shaping a better world. This shift in perspective transforms arguments into conversations, walls into bridges, and division into collaboration. He explains that unity does not mean everyone must think the same way. Diversity of thought, experience, and identity is what enriches a society. Unity simply means choosing respect over hostility, cooperation over chaos, and shared purpose over personal pride. Obama points out that real unity requires effort. It means having difficult conversations with an open mind, acknowledging mistakes, and being willing to compromise. It also means standing up for others when they face injustice, discrimination, or inequality. Empathy pushes people to act, not just feel. It fuels the desire to protect the vulnerable, support the struggling, and uplift the overlooked. A society that practices empathy becomes stronger because it ensures that no one is left behind. Obama also warns that division is dangerous. When people focus only on differences, fear grows, anger spreads, and progress stops. A divided community loses its ability to solve problems because energy is wasted on conflict rather than advancement. He urges individuals to resist voices that profit from division or spread hatred. Instead, he calls for people to be builders, those who mend relationships, create understanding, and unite others around common values like fairness, dignity, and hope. Ultimately, Obama's message is that unity and empathy are not abstract ideals. They are practical tools for creating meaningful change. When people work together, listen to one another, and treat each other with respect, they unlock the full potential of their communities. Unity multiplies strength, and empathy builds the foundation for a more peaceful, successful, and compassionate society. Your voice carries more power than most people realize, and Obama's message centers on the idea that every individual has the ability to influence change, inspire others, and shape the direction of their community or even the world. He emphasizes that change has never come from silence. It comes from people who are willing to speak, act, and stand for what they believe in. Your voice is not just what you say. It is the decisions you make, the values you uphold, and the example you set. Obama reminds us that history is filled with ordinary individuals who created extraordinary outcomes simply because they chose to raise their voices. Progress comes from people who speak out against injustice, from leaders who motivate others toward a higher purpose, and from ordinary citizens who participate in shaping society through voting, volunteering, and community involvement. Your voice, no matter how small it may seem, can start a ripple that turns into a wave. He stresses that leadership is not limited to those in official positions. Anyone can be a leader when they choose courage over fear. Speaking up does not always mean addressing crowds. It can be as simple as encouraging someone who has lost hope, sharing an idea others are afraid to express, or standing firm when everyone else chooses the easy path. Obama encourages individuals to understand that silence often supports the status quo, while using your voice challenges it. Change requires people to step forward, even when it feels uncomfortable. He explains that fear of judgment or failure keeps many people quiet, but real impact happens when you push past those fears and communicate your truth with sincerity and conviction. Your voice also carries power because it inspires others. When one person speaks with courage, others feel more confident to do the same. When you share your story, someone else realizes they're not alone. When you stand for fairness, others are reminded of their own responsibility to act. Obama highlights that the world becomes better not through one loud voice, but through millions of small voices rising together. Each voice matters, and each one adds strength to the movement for progress. Finally, he explains that your voice shapes your personal future too. Speaking your goals aloud, expressing your values, and declaring what you stand for creates clarity and direction. It helps you stay aligned with your purpose and builds confidence in who you are becoming. Obama's message is clear: never underestimate the power of your voice. It can change your life, uplift others, and contribute to the kind of world future generations deserve.